Alright, when we exercise, we become fatigued afterwards. Fatigue is a state of tiredness after excess strenuous workout exercise. Now with depletion, ATP is produced from PC, which lasts for 10 seconds. Now once the PC stores are depleted, we don't have anything, so we have to go into the lactic acid system. Now glucose and glycogen are both used. Glucose, there's only 15 to 30 grams, and for the glycogen, there's 345 grams, and 90 to 100 grams of it are stored in the liver. Now once these are depleted, we are left with the fatiguing byproduct of lactic acid and carbon dioxide. Now with lactic acid as the main waste product, when it builds up, we get the pH level decreases within the blood, which causes, if it goes below 6.4, it affects the muscle neural function, not allowing the contractions to take place or any impulses or signals from the CNS or anything like that, or the autonomous nervous system to take place, any impulses. Once the lactic acid starts to accumulate, that's what we call hitting the wall, so that you just physically can't go any further with exercise because your muscles are full of lactic acid. Now we call this the anaerobic threshold. Now accumulation of lactic acid only happens when we're exercising and we're producing lactic acid, but we're not able to get rid of it at the same rate that we're producing it. Now this also, with lactic acid, it probably occurs at 85 to 90% of your maximum heart rate, depending on your level of fitness and what type of athlete you are. With CO2 now, it changes into two different things. It changes into carbonic acid, which helps release lactic acid from the muscles, and carbonehemoglobin. But the prime thing that we need to do with CO2 is that we need to exhale it as quick as possible, as it's a product in the body that is not good for the body. Because we need to take in more oxygen to get any waste products out. Now with the neuromuscular, when we have fatigue, if the level of acetylcholine lowers, there are less nerve impulses allowed to get over through the synapses from the sensory neurons to the muscle fibers, which stops the contractions. Now you also have, if calcium ions are reduced as well, this causes less contractions in the muscles, which is needed, especially looking at the skull filament theory, that calcium ions are needed for contractions within the first phase. And if reduced levels of calcium ions are detected within the body when we're using the PC storms, it will jump straight into the lactic acid system. Now when we look at recovery, we have the we need to replenish the ATP, PC and glycogen stores, and we also need to give back the oxygen to the hemoglobin and myoglobin. All the used up myoglobin and hemoglobin all needs to be replaced. Now this all gets done by EPOC, which is excess post-exercise oxygen consumption. Now what it really is when extra O2 is consumed following exercise needed to resynthesize ATP used up. Now the main aims of it is to replace ATP, PC and glycogen stores, which I've already said, and to remove the lactic acid and CO2 within the body. Now for the body to recover, the more oxygen we take in, it helps with the recovery of the different energy systems. Now ATP takes a minimum of 3 minutes to recover. PC, phosphocreatine, or the PC, gets replenished within 3 minutes. Lactic acid gets removed within 20 minutes, while also breathing oxygen to help remove the toxin within the body. And myoglobin and glycogen stores have to be replaced, which take between 24 to 48 hours, depending on how fit the athlete is and what level of their heart rate that they've been working at. Now when we look at the lactic acid debt, we need to restore the muscle phosphagen, which requires for us to replace the PC system. with PC, we have to take in 4 litres of oxygen. So this is where the EPOC comes in. So the more oxygen we take in, the quicker the lactic acid system resynthesizes. Now it takes 50%, or for 50% to be resynthesized of the PC system, it takes 30 seconds, and 100% in 3 minutes. So as you can see, the PC system is the best system to use. Now when we look at the lactic acid system, full recovery takes 1 hour to 24 hours. But then if we want 50% of it, it takes 15 minutes. It takes a longer time for the system, and it also the system isn't the best because it creates such a large amount of lactic acid. Now because it uses 5 to 8 litres of oxygen, also this is where EPOC comes in. We would have to breathe in even more oxygen for it to recover even quicker. Now with lactic acid, it can get removed by sweating in urine, as well as being converted back into pyruvic acid and into Krebs cycle, or it can be changed into glucose or glycogen, or it can be converted into proteins. Either way, it's still once it gets converted back into something, it's still helping the body to have energy, especially say if we're going into the Krebs cycle where we need extra triglycerides to produce more ATP.